Yeah, we're back at it. And I added some more ingredients to it. I added some Jolly. Yeah, you can see it. And a piece of tile. And I also moved, all right, bear with me here. I also moved all the tile back a little bit further away from my pedestal, the framing for my tub. And I moved up, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. Let me get this squared away here. Okay. So, where are we at? Where's my pencil? I just had my pencil. Why can't I find anything? Here it is. Okay. So here, oh, and I also put my shower tile on, shower floor tile on. And I have a mock-up of my thickness for my glass. It's pretty thick. Because actually, the glass panels are actually a little bit thicker than this. So, that's all right. It'll work. All right. So what do we have? Let's kind of slow down here. We have 1.5 inches. Where it is now, right? 1.5 inches. And I need. All right, well, let me tap the brakes here for a second. I'm beginning to think that it's not critical for me to be able to get the glass panel right on where the transition is between the floor tile and the shower tile, because I might not be able to do that and get the separation I want at the door width threshold going into my master bedroom. So that's okay. I'm not. It's all right, I think. You know, it's going to be okay. So what I need to do is I need another 1.25 inches, because we're at 1.5 inches right here, right to my little line. I don't know if you can see that real good. Yeah, you can see it. So that means that to get to where I'm at 1.75 inches, right, and I'm going up against 1 inch. Right here is my, 2 3/4. Right? But that's adding 1.25 inches down to here. This is actually, and I should have put a piece of tape on there, actually where the threshold of the shower wants to go. All right, let's put this here. I know, it's arts and crafts. We're having fun, arts and crafts. All right, okay? So that's right here. That's this line right here, okay? Now, the directions, and I'm going over this again. So the width of my threshold is 2 3/4. All right, that's my 2 3/4. So from here to here is 2 3/4. Right? See that? Might be hard to see. So what I need to do is, let's see, from the vertical line of the slider panel wall, which is the middle of. Wait a minute now. See, that's where it gets confusing with this is the diagram. So I think the 2 3/4, they want me to do a middle of, and that's like 1.5. I mean, we could get into the weeds as far as if we round it up to 3 inches, that's 1.5 inches minus, let's do 1/8. So 1 inch and what? 1 2 3/8. Yeah. So 1 3/8 is right about here. Right about here. That's the center of where the glass panel wants to go. I think it's the center. I'm not sure if it's the center line or if it's where the glass panel wants to cover it. See? Hold on here. Let's take a look. I'm going to do it like so. See, I don't know if the instructions are saying they want this line to be right here, or if they want it to be, well, it doesn't make any sense to cover the line, because I won't be able to see where the exact middle is of that. So maybe they want me to come up to it, which is right about here. And the good thing about that is I'm still on my floor tile, right? Still on the floor tile. Now, all this is on paper. And I understand that reality is, you know, when you write things on paper and then when you open the door and go out into the real world, the paper you can just crumble up or use it as, you know, whatever, you know. So, this is all with a little bit of a grain of salt, right? Because, you know, I'll look back in this video and I'll say, oh, yeah, but, you know, what is, So if it works out to be just like this, I can live with that. Because it's covering up the floor tile and the transition is, you know, and that's what I want. Now, I don't know if it's going to be like this, but, you know, it'd be nice. So, and it's going to be, you know, who knows what it's going to be when I actually get to getting. But the important thing is, here, let me show you. Another thing what I'm trying to do is, wait, hold on. Happy Saturday. Yeah. I got my my tie-dye shirt on. Another thing I'm trying to figure is my line, my starting line, my side-to-side line, and I need to figure my front-to-back line. Not so much, but I need to figure out my starting line. Meaning I need to get a square line from the side to side so I know where my tiles are going to stop, right? All along here. That's why I'm doing all this with the spacers and all this. This is just to get an idea where I want the things to fall. And like I said, it may or may not be like that. I don't know. It's actually that mark, that inch mark, it looks like it's pretty far close to this corner. So that actually might go back a little bit. I don't know. We're gonna see. As long as I can, and there's good meat. Let's see. Yeah, I mean everything as far as hardware is concerned, I don't have much concern about that. But here's the threshold. Hold on. Here's the threshold. I moved it back. All right. Moved it back a little bit. So now it's just past the case, right? The door casing, framing of the door. So now it's almost right where I want it to be, and I'm still thinking about getting a little creative with a piece of the laminate, and you know, getting a little crazy with it. But so look at this. Okay. Oops, just bumped into the camera. Don't mind me. Yeah, I can live with that. See how the transition is not quite, you know, perfect, but I can live with that. I can definitely live with it. So I think I got my line this way, right? My side to side line. I don't want to make any marks on the Ditra just yet because I'm going to do it in marker. And then I'm going to get my level. I have my level right here. I'm going to get that out. And well, let me see. Let's get that level going right now. Let's see what we can come up with. Hold on. Okay, I don't know if you can see this real good. I might turn the lights down a little bit more so you can see it. That one's down all the way. All right. Yeah, you can see that. So, what are we trying to learn? We're trying to learn. I'm not worried about this part of it. I'm worried about this. I want this line to be, you know, square, and that's not even, you know, the right word. Well, square, yes, but relative to, like, you know, what, right? What relative to the door threshold, right? And relative to the walls. So I'm going to be tinkering around with this a little bit more, but I'm waiting for the light to stop. But you see what I got here, right? I'm using these two as my line, and you can obviously those are off down there because I have to go this way, and of course the shower has to go that way. You can see this one right here. Inside the shower is just almost where we want it. We can bump it up a little bit, right? So you get the idea. I mean, I'm going to work with this some more because when I mark it, and what I want to see is also how it lines up. Not that I'm using the Ditra as my square, as my lines, but I was just curious to see, because I didn't even plan on using these as a line. That's what I got magic markers for, you know, so I can use the magic marker for the line. And what I might do is I might put some tape down there and, you know, mark with magic marker right where that line is, and then obviously, well, down here I can't, but so we got some more work to do with it. We're kind of tinkering with it, but yeah, I'm not making any cuts or doing anything until I feel comfortable with the next step, which of course is to start the install. That's the next step. That's why I'm kind of going through all this, because the next step is you know, cranking up the wet saw and, you know, get to getting as far as that goes. So, all right, I'll leave you with this shot here. So thanks for being patient with me and sticking with me. We have, I mean, there's a method to my madness. There is. And we're just going to keep working a little bit more until I get everything, till I'm comfortable with, you know, moving forward. And I'm not quite there yet. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There's going to be more to come.